Harry! You do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
Oh, here and there. You're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine!
Yeah, well, we make a lot of mistakes when we're not seeing straight. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked a rocket car.
But...
More trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
You'll figure it out, Emmett. You only need a bolt of inspiration, that's all. Maybe if you went to a...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
The what?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Emmett, I'm a little confused here. What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Callahan.
October 12th. Doc? It's supposed to have all of Doc's notes for building a time machine, but it's empty. If the real Doc were here, he'd probably say something like, "The timeline ripples have finally caught up with it." Hopefully once I fix everything, it'll be full again. Hopefully, once I finish breaking up Emmett and Edna, this paper will return to normal. Good old regular Dad. I wonder if I'll ever see him again. A 1986 electric guitar in 1931 Hill Valley. Not sure how useful this is going to be.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start and Teenage You is already in over his head with Edna.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Oh, worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being. I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk Teenage You out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna? Where can I find her?
Where do you think? I'll drive. The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
You were right. There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and...
Stop!
I'll talk to her. You'd better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All Car of the Future contestants need to report to the North Tent.
Why not? Good luck!
Hey, Artie.
officer.
Officer,
Right. Don't blow your cover.
will you please keep your mind on the task at hand?
Can't talk right now.
Spell it Brown. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love... Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... Oh, dear.
Mr. Callahan, you do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
I need to...
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
Yeah, just now, in the town square.
Oh, then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think, he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah. You know, a lot of guys start out with great potential and then sort of run out of steam.
That's what I'm here for, to make sure he goes the whole distance.
Yeah, but...
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Callahan, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
Hey, excuse me.
Yeah?
When does the expo
Not
open?
till tonight. Anybody without official business here, please get off the grounds! You got official business here?
Yeah.
Well, stay out of the way of the workers. You look familiar. Do I know you?
Nope. It's not as nice as my truck back in '86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in '86. The brown plate, way too... I wonder how... Doc's right. If we want to break Edna and Emmett up, we better approach it from Edna's side of the relationship.
Well,
I talked to her.
and?
She says she knows what she's looking for, and it's you.
But it can't be me. Wasn't me. Marty, we don't belong together.
You don't have to tell me that.
Find out exactly what her requirements are. I can almost guarantee you that I don't fit them. What does she have to say?
Edna? Oh, I haven't talked to her yet.
Well, what are you waiting for? We need to get those kids separated.
Ahem. You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Callahan. You know that? Well, his physical appearance, for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
What the heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention! Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course! What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or, anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Hey, Audie, you seen my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Have you...
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double-checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits...
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
It worked! Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Callahan. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
Tut tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but... Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interest. You see, I know what you're up to.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
Go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh, hiya, kid. Say, aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could...
Ah, forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Right.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future? At the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's actually why I'm here. So Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
Whose idea was it to put a science and technology expo in Hill Valley?
Beats me. Artie says it's all bred in circuses. But I ain't seen a single clown yet today.
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Artie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
Then you see where I'm coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's got to resort to underhanded tricks. What do you say?
Sorry.
Ah,
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techne, Muse of Progress.
what's Artie's job?
Oh, he's a real high muckety-muck at the expo. He's in charge of all the money, and the hiring and firing.
Hey, not bad.
You're telling me, and super respectable, too. It's a real relief for him to have a job where the boss never pulls a gun on him.
It's good to see that you and Artie are both doing okay.
We're more than okay. And if things keep going the way they're going, we may be more than just friends before you know it.
Well, don't get too serious too fast.
Nah, we're keeping things casual, for now.
Good. I'm sure Grandma will appreciate that. How's Kid's trial going?
Slowly. You know what they say. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but infinitely fine.
Except in Hill Valley, where they don't move at all.
What?
Nothing. It's just, you know, something I heard once. So no regrets about turning him in?
None at all. I should have known better than to take up with him in the first place. But what can I say? I was dumb. I let myself get taken in by his charm.
Charm? So who are you supposed to be?
Don't you know your Homer? I am Techne Muse of Progress. You can tell by the lightning bolts.
Must have slept through that class.
I'm supposed to be a goddess-like. I'm the one who inspires all the great men who make the discoveries. And women, too. Leave us not forget Madame Curie.
I never would. So you work for the expo?
Yeah, ain't it a kick? I greet all the important guests, and on the final day, I get to bestow the golden sundial on the winning contestant.
Techne, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Artie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
Look, my friend Emmett really needs help.
The one who's going out with Edna Strickland? You're darn right he needs help.
I'm not asking you to actually seduce him. Just make her think that you two have a thing going. It'll drive her crazy.
I guess it would.
So...
I wouldn't do that to another girl unless I was good and mad at her. And besides, it might tarnish my image as a muse.
Look, my friend Emmett...
Just
See you, Trixie.
from this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
Hey, Artie.
Hey, Mr. G-Man. How's the, undercover operation?
If everything goes as planned, we should be wrapping things up real soon now.
Well, when it's time for me to play my part, just say the word.
So you're the registration guy for the expo?
And chief accountant and paymaster.
Hey, you're coming up in the world.
And none of it would have happened if I hadn't responded to that subpoena.
You haven't met Sylvia yet, have you?
My contact person? Not yet. Is he or she at the expo?
I don't think so, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a she. Keep your eyes open for Sylvia.
What should I do when I meet her?
Just let nature take its course. I like Trixie's new outfit.
Cost the expo $14.89, but it was worth every penny. After all, she's the public face of the expo. Techne, muse of progress.
I don't suppose you miss working for Kid Tannen.
No siree, Bob. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with an abusive, gun-toting thug like that. He even stiffed me on overtime pay.
Think the Hill Valley Expo will be a success?
I don't see why not. Why shouldn't California have its own high-technology center?
Keep doing what you're doing, Grandpa.
Grandpa?
That's our, code name for you.
Oh, ha! Funny.
Now that I've got my bitchin' train/skateboard, I don't need the DeLorean to get around town. Can I talk to you a minute, Miss Strickland?
Surely. Excuse us a moment.
It's like this. I found out about Trixie Trotter.
Yes?
Apparently they made her some sort of queen of the festival. Techne, the muse of progress.
They didn't. Well, they said this expo would give Hill Valley a reputation. I didn't realize this is what they meant.
What have you got against Trixie?
It's the idea of it. Allowing our city to be represented by a woman like that. I won't stand for it. As a socially conscious citizen, I demand you discharge that muse.
Trixie? What's wrong with her?
Oh, she's hardly qualified for an honorific post at a public event.
Look, lady, she fits the costume. She's an American citizen, and she managed to memorize all her lines. What more qualifications do you want?
Oh, these people are impossible.
Why do you want to get Trixie fired?
One simply can't allow women like that to attain positions of respect in society. It creates a very bad precedent for the future.
Does it?
But try telling it to this poor sap. She's got him completely steamrolled. That's how they operate.
Is it?
Still, I could get her discharged if I had the goods on her. No doubt a woman like that has left a trail of scandal, and I'd find it if I were still a reporter. But I haven't got time to do the legwork now. I'm too busy with Emmett and his invention.
So you wouldn't hesitate to get Trixie fired from her job?
If I had the goods on her. She's obviously got her employer completely bamboozled. The only way to snap him out of his spell would be to show him something really shocking.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
I found a set of wheels.
Good. Then you can visit my younger self. He could use a good talking to right about now. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
To all who approach these hallowed halls. What's cooking?
Ideas. Up here. Look, my friend... See you, Trixie.
Don't be a stranger.
The underside of this future train model looks familiar. I wonder if it can ollie. I still got some work to do.
The century looks bright for our fair metropolis. Our residents will want to venture forth into the air. Waiting around the train of mankind. A button. Correct, see, our venerable town square drenches the valleys in indeed. Though the form looks strange and new, the function
Funny,
remains
I was gonna
the
say the same
ever.
thing.
But where are all the people? Why, they're underground. A network of burrows
Have you heard from
extends a
Kid lately?
mile into the
We're
earth,
not exactly
giving
on
future
speaking
Hill
terms
Valley's
these
10
days,
million
on account of our
citizens plenty
varying
of space
degrees
to
of
work,
incarceration.
play, and raise their
What kind of
families.
stuff have they got you hauling here?
How the heck would I know? Electro this, robo that, dynamo the other. It's all Greek to me.
Will you be playing piano for Trixie later?
Nah.
Why not?
'Cause little Miss Goody Two-Shoes thinks she's too respectable for cue ball these days.
You seem kind of angry about Trixie.
Angry? Listen, kid, me and Trixie go way back. I know stuff about her that even Kid doesn't know. Stuff that'd curl your socks.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And now to see her flouncing around the place, making like her stink don't smell, it just, well, it just cheeses me off, you know?
Shouldn't you be in jail with the rest of Kid's gang?
I was, but then an opportunity availed itself and I
Sang like a canary.
I prefer to think of it as exhibiting an admirable sense of self-preservation.
Hey, what's with your teeth?
My teeth?
Yeah, they're green.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Seriously, man, what's going on with your teeth?
It's nothing. Nothing. Oh, crap.
What's wrong?
It's these.
Dr. Frinkle's algae cakes?
A crate of them fell off the truck while I was unloading it, and I just can't stop eating them. How was I to know they'd turn my teeth green?
Well, the algae part might have been a clue.
Please don't rat me out to Artie, okay? I really need this job.
No problem, but you better let me keep the cakes.
Sure thing, pal.
So what's so, toe-curling about Trixie's past?
Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, come on.
No.
Tell you what, I'll tell you something embarrassing about me first.
Like what?
Last year, I drove a train off a cliff.
Why'd you do that?
You know, now that I think about it, I'm not really sure. It's a long story.
All right, Junior, you win. That was pretty embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as this.
Is that Trixie?
Yep.
She's not wearing much.
No kidding. She did a lot of these artistic postcards a few years ago. I got a whole set of them.
Can I, have one?
I don't know. You ain't gonna do nothing bad with it, are you?
Hey, I promise. I'll only use it for the greater good.
Well, okay.
Hang loose, pal.
You talk funny, mister.
Trixie sure got some nice, antlers. This is definitely something Edna wouldn't approve of. You might want to take a look at this.
Why in the world would I be interested in... Oh, what have we here? Oh, sir! Mr. McFly! It appears your muse has been inspiring more than progress.
Trixie? Oh, no, no, no. What are you doing with a dirty postcard?
What is she doing in a dirty postcard? I swear, Mr. McFly, if that doesn't convince you that Trixie Trotter is unfit to represent Hill
I
Valley...
don't need you to lecture me about who I can or can't hire, Miss Strickland. Trixie's darn good at what she does. I don't care if she was once... The winsome wench of Winnipeg. Her past doesn't matter to... Trixie?
What is it, Artie?
You know I don't like to pry, but what state did you grow up in?
Province, Manitoba. Why?
Not even an American.
See, darling, the charter specifically states that the Expo's hostess must be a U.S. citizen, so if you're really a Canadian...
I'm being fired? You're firing me?
I don't want to.
Here, take it back. Well, I'm glad somebody's listening to reason.
Let's talk.
Trixie?
I'll do it! I'll make that blue-nosed Betty eat her heart out!
That's great. I got it all planned out. When Emmett shows
But we
up...
gotta do it my way.
Huh?
I'm no good with improvising, and I ain't gonna memorize no lines. But I was in this play once. The Parlourmaid's Predicament. I figure I could lift a scene from that.
Okay.
Only, I need a few props.
Why am I not surprised?
Some furs, a big diamond. It doesn't have to be real, understand?
That makes it easier.
And something from this friend of yours, Emmett. Has he got a photo album?
I don't know. Probably.
Better bring it to me.
Furs, a diamond, and Emmett's photo album. And then?
Sit back and watch the fur fly.